Hi, in this video, I will be talking about episode 4 of my fairy tale wedding, which is also the season finale of my fairy tale wedding. So let's get into it. This episode opens up with Larry coming to meet Moji's, parents, her auntie and her mom, because I couldn't understand what was being said during this opening scene because they were speaking mainly in Yoruba. From the little I could deduce, it seemed like they were, talking about wedding preparations. And I think Larry was of the opinion they should have the wedding as soon as possible. Long story short, they agreed they were to have the introduction in 2 weeks, 2 Fridays from that day. So, the conversation went smoothly. We also get to see Moji and Larry playing, love at her office, which was cute and all. Then one of her staff walks in with, I think, a book. They featured her in a book or a magazine or something like that. And I think it was something Dafi had, submitted her pictures for her bakery and stuff. So she got selected and, she was featured in the magazine. So that aside, we now get to see the introduction proper. So everybody looked so elegant, with their full Yoruba attire for the men, and with Mojisola in her own, native attire. Everybody really looked nice. The celebration was going on. The families were, greeting and meeting each other. After everything was done, Dafe stops by. It was so awkward because I don't think he knew how soon, these two people were planning to get married. It came as a shock to him seeing, the whole ceremony and everything. Then Moji's mom, sights him and she goes to meet him and talk to him and say, didn't Moji invite you and everything, everything. So as they're talking, Moji also sights him alongside her man Larry. So Larry was like, oh, let's go approach him. He's your friend. Let's go and see him and talk to him and everything. So on getting to meet Daffy, the conversation that was had was quite awkward because Larry was inviting Daffy to come and be one of his groomsmen, which was really, really awkward. They are very good friends, if not one of the best friends to Mojisola. That you don't worry, to be fun, we'll have a good time. And it was so awkward. Moji was trying to give Daffy face like he should refuse and all those kind of things. And also funny the way Larry kept calling Daffy Duffy. So Dafe agrees to be Lanre's groomsman, and he goes with them to continue on in the celebration. With that also happening at the introduction, we also get to see Tima and Precious, having a conversation in the kitchen. And Tima looks like she's about to cry. She is so sad. She's just trying to talk to Precious to forgive her, that she wants her friend back, that she's really sorry. She was a mess. It was alcohol, and she would not have actually done that to Precious, but Precious wasn't having it because she was just pissed at everything, that out of everybody in Lagos, it was my husband, that you saw to sleep with and everything. So I don't know how I feel about this whole Precious and Tima thing because of course we know, there was alcohol involved, and I don't think if she was in her right senses that would have happened. But I can't really say, like, I don't even know because I don't know where they thought the night would go with, drinking alcohol and then being alone by themselves and everything. But I feel it was like an honest mistake on Tima's part, and Precious should try and understand. Like, I don't know, Sha. I hope their friendship gets sorted. But that's by the way. Later on, we get to see Mojisola on the call with Precious. So she's talking to Precious about, how she feels there's something up with Tima and she would like them to have like a girls' hangout to chill and try and get to know what's up with her. That she caught her crying in the kitchen. And the friction between Tima and Precious. So Precious wasn't having it. She was like, that she's busy with the kids, just making excuses for not being available to hang out for Tima. So Moji was like, okay, fine, that she don't miss my fitting, that kind of thing. So that of course she won't miss her fitting. So that aside, we get to see Moji and Daffy. So Moji comes to see Daffy to have a conversation because she's like, she doesn't understand what he's doing. Like, what is it? Like, why do you keep popping up? Like, it doesn't make sense. You're my closest friend. You're very good to me. You were kind. You were consistent. You were dependable. Like, I could lean on you till you did what you did. So, like, she doesn't understand why he is playing with her, that he should just stop what he's doing and he should not come to her wedding. Like, what was he thinking? Accepting being one of Larry's groomsmen. Like, does it make sense? We slept together. Why do you feel it is okay for you to be there on my wedding day? So she was just, venting and venting and venting. Then she was like, you should get out of her house. And he was like, you're in my house. Then she left. So yes, that conversation still shows how hot Mojisola is in regards to what Dafe did. Then we get to see Tima. So Tima goes to visit Madam, the Kanyemata portion Madam. So she goes to meet her. I'm like, hey, what does Tima want to see this woman for? We get to find out what her request is. So basically, she wants Madam to help this friend of hers rekindle the spark in their marriage. And Madam was like, okay, sure, but she's going to cost you and everything. She was like, fine. Then Madam asks her to show the couple, like, give me a picture of these people. Tima shows her the photo of Lutana and Precious, and Madame goes, "Are you serious? Are you kidding me here?" And everything. So you know how I said before that Precious must have met Madame before, must have used one of her services in regards to Lutana. So yes, so Madame was saying that Precious had come to her over 2 years back when her husband had cheated on her, whether to stop him from cheating or to make him be faithful or something along those lines. Because for me, what Madam was telling Tima, I couldn't really make sense of it. Saying that she came to see her. So I'm like, okay, did Precious come to see Madam for her husband to stop cheating on her? Or for her husband not to leave her, maybe go with the girl he cheated on her with. I think she came to see Madam so her husband would change. But Madam was like, she got to find out that her husband truly loves her and that Tima should just leave these two people be, that if they want to crash and burn, let them crash and burn. Let her not waste her time and waste Madam's own time. That she should just go. And Tima coming to see this woman not for herself but for her friend shows how remorseful she is, shows how bad she feels for the mistake she made. And now she's trying to do anything to make sure that these people's marriage doesn't break because of her, which is really, really nice to see. I just hope Precious gives her a second chance. Then we get to see Lutana, Precious, the kids. So Lutana, of course, comes to see Precious to talk to her and still apologize, and also see his kids. But she's done. She just doesn't want to see him. She just doesn't want to have a conversation. Now it's the dress fitting time. So Moji and her girls are at the fashion house where she gets her dress fitted. So they're just there, she's trying on dresses. Then Chichi, Odogu's bride to be, comes in and was talking some nonsense to Tima. And I don't even know, like, when everything went left, then the girls just, jumped on her and started beating her. So it was really crazy. I don't even know why she came in the first place. She was looking for a drama and she got dealt with. So we also get to see Odogu in that clip. So he comes to, confront Tima because of what they shared. He's not going to do what he wants to do. Then he walks off. So Tima was just apologizing to Moji for what happened, because of course it is because of her. She's the one that is linked with these two people. Then with that happening, pressure just goes off on her, saying that trouble follows you everywhere you go. You're always very problematic. You always do this, you always do that. So Moji was just looking at them like confused, like what's going on here and everything. So that aside, it's now the night to Moji's wedding. So Dafe and Larry, being his groomsman, they are both, hanging out. I think they went for their night, the guys' night. Then Larry got drunk and Daffy was taking him to his room. And Larry was like, no, that he wants to see his wife, that's Moji's room, take me to Moji's room and everything. So Daffy was able to pull him away from going into Moji's room, took him into his room and, just kept him on his bed. So I think he dropped, was it his wallet or something in front of Moji's door, and he goes to pick it up. So as he picks it up, Moji opens the door and they're just, looking at themselves, and they start having a conversation. She was like, hope Larry is not as drunk as you. Moji was like, does he want to come in for coffee? And I was like, why are these two people playing with fire? Then he was like, at first I was like, no. Then he was like, okay. And they went in together. So gisting her about, the night and, what happened exactly. Then they had the conversation in regards to what it was that happened that made him to disappear on her. And he was just basically saying that he was scared, he was overwhelmed with what happened. Like, he got everything he wanted in that moment and he couldn't believe it. He did not know how to deal with it, how to handle it. So he just, needed some time to process what had happened. Then when he came back, he now found out that, oh, she's with somebody else. He didn't mean to, ghost her like that, that he really loves her, yes, for her, and just telling her how much he loves her, how he has always, loved her, how he has always wanted her. And Moji was just looking at him surprised because she was like, oh, so you've always, had these feelings for me. And he was like, yes, before Marcus, before, the other guy, before Marcus, before the three boyfriends you have, like, he had always had feelings for her. And me, I'm like, okay, so why did you not just tell this babe? Because two of them, they were just annoying me in that scene. Then we, the way, the sexual tension in the air was just going. So Muji was like, she just got up and she was like that she thinks he should leave and everything. So he drops the coffee and they head to the door, and as he's about to leave, they are just looking so lustfully into each other's eyes. And Daffy goes in for a kiss, and Mujisola could not just help herself. And they were kissing. Then somebody opens the door. When the door was opened, the way my heart dropped, I was like, hope it's not Lanre that enters. Then we get to see that it is Precious. So Precious is the one that walked in on them. Ah. So with that happening, she goes out to talk to Larry as he leaves the room, and she's like, what are you doing? Like, leave this girl alone. She's getting married. Just let her be. Don't show up on the wedding day. Stop all these groomsman nonsense you're doing, and just let her be happy. Let her, she has made a choice. She has decided to be with Larry. She wants to marry him. So just let her be happy. And he was like, no, he loves her. Precious told him she doesn't want to see him on her wedding day, that he should not come and ruin things for her and everything. It's not the wedding day. Mojisola is getting ready. Precious is also there with her. And Mojisola was asking about Tima, and Precious was just deflecting. She did not want to answer because Moji could sense that there was something off, like what's going on between you guys, and she was not even trying to answer that question. She was not asking that what was that? What was the kiss you had with Daffy? And she was like, no, it's nothing. That is in the past. It was just a mistake. That she's happy where she is. That she's going to marry, somebody that really loves her. She was looking really, really elegant, looking really, really beautiful on her wedding day. Then the whole wedding ceremony commences. She looks like a gorgeous bride with Larry by her side. The family, friends, everybody's there in the hall. Then the priest is just there talking about real love and how real love is not perfect. Real love takes time. Real love is work. Real love is this. Real love is that. So as the priest is going on and on about true love, all that was in Moji's head was Dafe. How Dafe was there at her lowest, how Daffy was there to cheer her up, how Daffy was with her in her, high moments and in her low moments. Everything the priest was saying in regards to true love, she was just playing, like remembering things of her and Daffy. I'm like, this girl is finished. So with that whole, her having that struggle in her head, Daffy interrupts the wedding with the whole "I love you, Mojisola." I'm like, hey, professing his love for her and how he's going to be with her. He knows it's a bit too late, but he always loved her. He would always love her, and everything the priest is saying is right because that is how he feels about her. That he can't imagine his life without her and everything, everything. So everybody was just like, what's going on here? Even the expression on Larry's face was like he was pissed because Muji now was just tearing up with all that he was saying. Then she turns to Larry and just apologizes for everything. And she was like, she did not actually say yes to his proposal. And I was like, I knew it. The whole wedding just goes off in flames. Like people are fighting. I think both families. So based on what has happened, so people are upset. Like, what kind of nonsense is this? So they are fighting, throwing food up and down. The whole place is just chaotic. Then we get to see Mojisola, sitting on the floor, crying like it was supposed to be perfect. Everything was supposed to go well, but it's a mess and everything. Then Dafe is by her side and just apologizing and just talking about how he would always be there for her and they should give things a shot and everything, everything. Sha. Basically, last, Larry proposed to her there and then, like he has always had a ring. He proposed to her and she said yes. So they get their fairy tale wedding. So she gets married to Daffy. They have this beautiful wedding, and it seemed like things worked out for her good. Do you understand? So it was like something that she was looking for, which was always there within her reach. She just could not see it. So they were both, of course, happy. The wedding celebration was in full swings, and that was how the season ended. So I'm like, how would they end this episode? How would they end this season like that? Like, okay, yes, Moji got her fairy tale wedding. She got what she wanted. You get, but we don't know what's up with Tima because we didn't even get to see Tima at her wedding. Like, how can Tima miss her best friend's wedding? It didn't make sense to us. it didn't make sense to us why that happened, and we didn't even get any sort of explanation in regards to that. And also with Precious, with Halotana drama, like, okay, are they going to get a divorce? Are they now separated, or would she give things a shot? Like, what is going on in that space? Do you understand? Then with Larry, of course, because Larry is a hot shot, so you can't embarrass this guy like that and just go away scot free. It doesn't make sense. So the way it ended, they could have done so much more with the story. Like, they could have even dragged on the whole Mojisola and Dafe thing a little bit and filled up with the other scenes with what's happened with the remaining characters we were introduced to. Because yes, the series is about Mojisola and her getting her fairy tale wedding, but they should not have made us so invested in the other characters like Tima, Precious, Lanre. Do you understand? So we are now left hanging. We have so many unanswered questions in regards to what happens with these people, how the story would progress for them from here, unless there's going to be a second season where we get to see what goes on. But storyline is so beautiful. Like, I really enjoyed the movie. It tells a very crazy love story of these two people who were so close. They were within each other's reach, but they could not see till it was almost too late. Could have added a couple more episodes to just, explore the stories of these other people were introduced. Maybe add 2 or 3 more episodes. So also within those episodes, we'll of course have to see Mojisola and Dafi maybe trying to date, maybe trying to be a couple before he proposes marriage to her and everything. Do you understand? With the way everything was just rushed, it was just cha 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 cha. It was just too fast how everything happened. It seemed like episode 4 had a lot of scenes in it, had a lot going on in it, which could have been spread out into a couple more episodes. But that's just my take on it. What is your thoughts on it? Share in the comment section. And I just feel this episode was a bit rushed. Her introduction to Larry with the wedding, to her proposal from Dafe to the wedding. So they could have, I think they could have spread it out a bit more, filled in with, these other people's stories and, end it all nicely. So we get like a full circle moment of, what becomes of everybody essentially. But so far, so good. My fairy tale wedding is done. So yes, Moji gets her fairy tale wedding. 4 episodes, season 1. Hopefully we get a season 2. So have you seen my fairy tale wedding on African Magic? Let me hear your thoughts down in the comment section. And also, I was really curious to see, what would happen in regards to Kayimata, like the repercussions or the effects or the side effects or something in regards to this her whole potion that she used on Larry, but we did not get to see that. I really enjoyed the series. I enjoyed watching it. I enjoyed, seeing these beautiful actors tell this beautiful story. It's just, of course, a story about love and how, true love exists, like don't give up and don't use potions and, other things to make somebody fall in love with you. It happened the natural way because she got to realize that she did not use it on Daffy, but this is really how Daffy feels for her. Do you understand? So yes, so if you like this video, please hit the like button. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe. Check out my other videos. I have, from episode 1 to episode 4 now, which is the season finale of my fairy tale wedding. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.